Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Paul Fanning. I'm the Exercise Public Affairs Officer. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Brigadier General Mike Swee, the commander of the New York National Guard's Joint Task Force 6, 4 Vigilant Guard. Brigadier General Swee is a West Point graduate and a traditional National Guard officer from Albany. General Swee.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rebel Pile for Operation Vigilant Guard. First of all, what is Vigilant Guard? Vigilant Guard is likely the largest joint military-civilian disaster response exercise ever conducted here in the state of New York. Vigilant Guard is part of a national emergency response exercise program sponsored by the National Guard Bureau from Washington, D.C. and the United States Northern Command in Colorado. This exercise was developed as a result of the lessons learned from the terrorist attacks on 9/11 and from Hurricane Katrina. As you have probably heard, the scenario we're using here in Western New York is that as of last Friday at 2 p.m. on October 30th, a magnitude 5.9 on the Richter scale earthquake occurred near the city of Buffalo. Effects from the earthquake were significant and immediate, producing tremendous damage to the urban core of Buffalo City, Erie County, and southern Niagara County. The National Guard's role play is that we've been called out by the governor of the state of New York to support the local emergency first responders. This exercise has literally been months, if not years, in the making. The results of this exercise will provide benefits to the people of Western New York for literally years to come. If we were to end the exercise right now, we would have to declare it a resounding success. Why? As General Eisenhower said after the invasion of Normandy, it's not the plan, it's the planning. The Allies in 1944 did not know all the curveballs that the Germans were going to throw at them. But in the pre-invasion planning that took place, the Allies thought through many of the contingencies that they might face. And that's exactly what we've done here with Operation Vigilant Guard. Here in Western New York, not only have we, the National Guard, thought through many of the contingencies and responses scenarios, but we've partnered face-to-face and right here at the Rebel Pit, arm in arm with our civilian emergency response counterparts, as you can see all over. On behalf of our Adjutant General, Major General Joe Toludo, I would like to say that we, the National Guard, are extremely appreciative and grateful to the people of Western New York for the support they have always given to our soldiers and airmen. We would also like to say thank you to all the police, fire, and EMS planners and participants at the state, county, city, and local levels who have dedicated themselves to work with us on this exercise. Lastly, as the commander of this joint task force, I want to say thank you to all the military forces who are here this week participating in this exercise. I want to thank members from the states of Vermont, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and the Virgin Islands for helping us. Of special note, we're hoping that we can conduct the after-action review for this exercise in February in the Virgin Islands, Mr. O'Donnell. And lastly, thank you to the heroes of New York, our National Guard soldiers, airmen, and sailors. And lastly, I want to say a special thank you to all those selfless members of our New York Guard contingent who voluntarily give up their time and efforts for no compensation to support us. It's my honor right now to introduce the Deputy Secretary for Public Safety, Ms. Denise O'Donnell. Ms. O'Donnell is a native of Western New York, and she oversees all Homeland Security and criminal justice services for the governor. As such, she is in the National Guard, our boss for the National Guard. In effect, she is Governor Paterson's Secretary of Defense. Ms. O'Donnell?
Thank you. Thank you very much, General. I am just so delighted to be here today on behalf of Governor Paterson. I had the great experience and really sad experience to accompany the governor here after the crash of Flight 3407, after the terrible floods on the southern tier. And he understands as much as anyone how important it is that we all work together to become prepared and be able to respond to any emergency, any disaster that we face here in New York State. So I'm particularly delighted that this exercise, one of the largest in history in the country, and clearly the largest ever in New York State, is taking place here in Western New York. 2,600 individuals are participating over the week in this exercise. People from 8 different states are participating. Over 150 different agencies are part of this effort, working together jointly from everything from obviously the work here to rescue individuals and be able to recover bodies from a disaster resulting from an earthquake, to the medical center and operating room that we saw set up on the Air Force Base, and so many places in between. The amount of time and effort that has gone into this exercise is unprecedented. And I want to really applaud on behalf of the governor and thank on behalf of the governor Erie County for being our county partner and so many different agencies who are participating. I want to thank the National Guard, General Toledo, General Murphy, who are at one of the command centers in Latham, who are overseeing the operation, along with so many partners in the military, local police, first responder community, and public officials for participating today. This is a great event for Western New York. It will help us in the future to be prepared and to save lives. Thank you very much.
Erie County has been an extremely strong ally for Operation Vigilant Guard. We are fortunate to have today with us Erie County Executive Chris Collins.
Thank you, General. On behalf of all the residents in Erie County, we want to welcome General Swee and all the National Guard from around the country that are visiting our great community. And when we think back of all the disasters that have hit our county in the last 3 years, going back to the October storm, the Hep A outbreak where we inoculated more people in a single operation than ever done before in the state of New York, preparing for what could be someday a pandemic, and the lessons we learned through that Hep A outbreak, followed by the tragic crash of Flight 3407, when we had once again to make our emergency folks ready to serve the families who lost their loved ones in that crash. And then just a month or so ago, the floods in the southern tier in Gowanda. It seems as though Erie County has had one emergency after another because we have. So we're better to hold an exercise than here in Erie County with our great Commissioner Greg Skibitsky, who's here with me today, and practicing hopefully for something that will never occur. But we do know that anything and everything can happen, and we need to plan. As we say in the Boy Scouts, you've got to be prepared, and this is another way of Erie County and our emergency preparedness departments being ready for what could happen sometime in the future. And again, we want to welcome everyone from the National Guard. We know this is going to be a great exercise, and after we're done, we'll do the analysis to see what went well, what could have gone better, and in doing that analysis, we'll be prepared should something like this occur. So again, thank you, General Swee, for choosing Erie County and making us a part of this great Vigilant Guard exercise.
We're here at the Spalding Fiber Plant site, what we've affectionately come to know as the rubble pile. And this location has been made possible through the city of Tonawanda. We're extremely grateful for the support and cooperation of all the residents of the city of Tonawanda for allowing us to come into their neighborhoods. I am very pleased to welcome Vietnam veteran and former member of the Screaming Eagles 101st Airborne Division, Tonawanda Mayor Ron Pelosi. Sir.